The end of the year is always fun because there are so many best books of the year lists. As you can imagine, the MPL staff are big readers, so we put together a short list of titles that were shared and enjoyed by many of us. If living off the grid appeals to you, you may want to read The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, about former Vietnam POW Ernst Albright, who moves his wife and teenage daughter to a remote part of Alaska in the 1970s. They are totally unprepared for the isolation and harsh living conditions they encounter and Ernst's declining mental health. Heavy issues in this book include physical and emotional abuse and PTSD. The Great Alone would be a terrific book club selection. There's so much to discuss. My Name is Venus Black by Heather Lloyd begins with a 14-year-old girl arrested for shooting her stepfather. From page 1, we know Venus believes the shooting was justified and that she has a lot of anger toward her mother, Inez. When Venus is released from juvenile detention after 5 years, there are two driving forces in her life: her anger at her mom and her desire to find her missing autistic brother, Leo. Leo's story is a large part of the book, and it's the characters that surround him and Venus in her new life that give another meaning to the concept of family. You'll end up loving Venus and Leo, and maybe even Inez. Paper Ghosts by Julia Heberlin is about an unnamed young woman's search for her sister's killer. She believes he is Carl Feldman, a former photographer now claiming to be suffering from dementia, living in a halfway house. She takes Carl on a road trip through Texas, hoping to jog his memory by visiting locations that he's photographed. All are known murder sites. This book is part survival story, part murder mystery, and part character study. Paper Ghosts has appealing characters, a little bit of humor, and a lot of suspense. Rules of Civility by Amor Towles, the author of the bestseller A Gentleman in Moscow, is about a young secretary who meets a wealthy banker in New York City on New Year's Eve, 1937. Described by NPR as glittering, filled with snappy dialogue, sharp observations, and an array of terrifically drawn characters, this novel was actually published in 2011, but was the absolute favorite of 2 members of our staff. We could not have a favorites list without mentioning Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, about a young woman with no social skills who is suddenly swept up into social situations she'd never experienced before, and the changes that begin in her life. Both laugh-out-loud funny and heartbreaking, Eleanor Oliphant is loved by most of the MPL staff. Those are just a few of our favorites from 2018. We're looking forward to 2019. Happy reading.